this video I will be talking about reading part 2. You must have seen my previous videos, and if you have not seen them, you can see them or you can watch them first, and the link are given in the description below. In this video specifically, I will be focusing on CELPIP Reading part 2, and I'll be talking about a few phrases that you will come across again and again while dealing with these part, and if you are not aware what exactly does it mean, there is a high probability that you will be making the answers wrong. But yes, if you know the meaning of these phrases, these words, so definitely you can make many answers correct. Okay, so these are some secret tips which will help you about it. Let's start. So the first we have here is over to you. When you see this anywhere in part 2 in the email, basically generally this is the last line. Okay, so when you see over to you means you might be having a question 6, 7 or 8, any question, and the answer would be ask for your opinion. So if I'm writing an email to you, and if I say over to you, it means I'm just asking for an opinion. It is not an advice, it is opinion. Advice and opinion are two different things. Opinion means I have discussed 2-3 options with you and you will be choosing one and you will tell me this is what I have selected. Advice is what? You are giving me suggestions. So advice and opinion are two different things, and over to you means I'm asking for an opinion, I'm not asking for an advice from you. Correct? The second we have is quite similar to this one. Let me know what you think. So that is easy to understand than this one, but having the same meaning. So when I say let me know what you think means again I'm asking for your opinion. So I have discussed a few possibilities with you, and finally I have left the final decision on you. Whatever you say, I'll accept. Again, so let me know means opinion. Third is if I say I wanted to see you before I left the office. So generally, these kind of sentences are the opening sentences in that email, in the question email, because these in part 2, question 1 to 5, these 5 questions are basically presented in the form of an email. So once you see this opening line, before I left the office, or when you see something related to office, so if they are talking about office and all, so the answer would most likely be co-worker. But since I am talking about office, do you think it can be co-workers, manager and client? So co-worker, manager and client, all 3 things are related to the office. But why for this particular sentence answer is co-workers, it is not manager and client? Why? Again, I am talking about office. Okay, I'll tell you. So here if I say I wanted to see you, so this phrase, this way of speaking, this way of writing, I wanted to see you, that is an informal expression. Informal expression means it can be co-worker, but it cannot be manager and client, because manager and client in both of the situations we have to be very much formal in our tone, and we have to be selective enough with the words that we are using for manager and client. So we never talk to our manager like this, I wanted to see you. We never talk to our client like this, I wanted to see you. So because of this is a co-worker. However, this office expresses it can be a co-worker, manager or client. Okay, so the bottom line here is what I want you to understand: whenever you read a sentence, make sure you read it nicely and you understand it. Okay, don't become overconfident. Don't just read it for the sake of reading. Just read it for the sake of understanding. If you do not understand, you end up making wrong answers. The next we have is when you say we need your input. So if I say we need your input, input means here I need your advice. Okay, so I need your input, I need your advice. But if it is over to you, it is opinion. So opinion and advice, two different things. Make sure you understand the difference and choose the correct answer. The next we have is when we generally say it was a pleasure meeting you. It was glad to see you, nice to meet you. So when you have these kind of expressions, it was pleasure meeting you, nice meeting you today, I felt happy to see you. So whenever it is related to that, happy to see you, nice to see you and all, means this is a kind of expression which is only and only spoken during the first meeting. So once that meeting is over, might be the meeting is going on. In both of the situations, if I say, it only and only indicates that I have met the person for the first time ever in my life. So first time ever. Nice meeting you means meeting, both of these people are meeting for the very first time. So the answers can be, they are the new classmates. New means meeting first time. They are the new neighbors. New means they are meeting first time. So again, this represents that both of the people who are writing email to one another, like one is writing to other, but both of them are the new one. They are meeting for the first time. Clear? But then we have a similar phrase. Again, don't get confused. If I say glad to see you again, again means I'm not meeting first time. I met you earlier also, but might be I met you after a long time again. So again means old classmates. Okay, so you can see the difference, just a very minor difference is there. Glad to see you again. But then it's going to change your answer completely. So understand the difference, keep it in mind, and then choose the correct answer. The next we have is, if I say, but I can hardly imagine. So this hardly, this gives a negative sense. I can hardly imagine means I cannot. So this gives a negative sense to the sentence. Okay, so it can be used in any of the situations. I can hardly imagine you feel hungry because you have just taken your breakfast. So hardly imagine means I cannot think you have a craving for eating something else. And then again, but. So when you see but anywhere, it means this but is going to connect two sentences, and these two sentences which are connected with but are contrary to each other. So but shows contradiction. So the sentence before and after but both are contrary to each other, and this thing again will help you to choose the correct answer. Next we have is probably. If you come across probably in any of the sentence, probably means may or may not. So when you are not sure of anything happening, so you will say probably. So probably means not sure or unsure. For example, I probably use your laptop. I probably need your car. Probably means I might or might not, but I'm not sure about it now. Okay, so that is for possibility. The next is we have another difference. When I say I received your parcel today and I was very happy and thankful for your gift. So when I say I received a parcel means I got a mail. Mail, or let's talk about the next question, then I'll explain the comparison. So when I say I saw the brochure in my inbox. Inbox means email. Okay. So what is the difference in mail and email? Generally again, students, they get confused in these two things. Mail and email, we get confused. We find both of the things are similar. So email is what you get in your computers, in your Gmail account. So that is in inbox. However, receiving a parcel means a mail that you get through courier or the post office. You get a parcel. So that is a mail, not an email. Okay. The next is, if you read something, click on it. Click on it means that is an indicator of the answer. Clicking on something means it is something about a website or a web page. On a magazine, on a newspaper, on a book, you cannot click. If you keep on clicking, nothing will happen. Okay. So click means that is a website or a web page. The next is, if you say I was wondering if you take walk-in customers. So I was wondering means when you are curious to know something, when you are interested. Okay, so when you want to know more, I'm interested, I was wondering. Then nice to meet you. Another thing I have discussed here, nice to meet you means you are meeting for the very first time. Another thing that is another meaning that is hidden in this phrase. The very first is both of the people are meeting for the first time ever, and the second thing is they are actually meeting, in person. If I met you yesterday for something and I presented a gift to you, so I didn't send the gift online, I didn't send a parcel to you, I have given it in person. Okay, so meet means in person, physical meeting, like face to face. Then definitely worth considering. Worth considering means something that I should consider or I should take into account. That is a positive expression towards something. So worth considering means if I'm interested to take something, let's say it is about a membership, these are about the discounts that they are offering, about any scheme that is having. So if I'll say okay, it is worth considering means I'm interested to take it. It's a great value for money and I should be taking it. Okay. So these are the general expressions that you generally come across in your reading part 2, might be in part 1 as well, but generally they are in reading part 2. So make sure you watch that video again, you make all such notes on the paper and read it again and again so that you can make the answers correct in reading part 2. So if you need any other information related to CELPIP preparation material, regarding CELPIP online classes, so you can contact us. The contact number is already given on the screen, so you can contact on this number. So I wish you all the best for your exam.